Welcome back. It's been a little while since I played this game, so I was having a little bit of issues and heat problems with this game. But it's playing a lot better now, running a lot better on the Steam Deck. Much better than it was a couple of months ago when I last played it. So it's great. That means I can start gameplay back up again. Unfortunately, my capture device died 40 minutes into recording capture. So this is more of a tester.
You asking me? They came here and made themselves at home. I ain't talking to any of them.
I'll be back with more gameplay on this, including the conclusions of some of these little quests. I like to do gameplay and complete a few quests and list the quests that I complete in the episode, so I'll do that. So for now, just see how it runs. It runs real well on the Steam Deck, and I'll catch you soon with some more gameplay. Thanks for watching.
Guess he's got nobody else to get pissed with. Finley never liked drinking alone with him. Titan tends to get into one of his moods. You're bothering me just because that old rascal is sitting alone in the inn with nobody to natter to?
Buy something or bugger off. Unless you've already bought from Orlaith. Then just bugger off. I wouldn't mind knowing myself. She stole a lucrative business contract from under me and my family, then made herself at home here. Damn those Timberwall merchants. Everyone's always yammering about Timberwall. Timber this, timber that. Bugger them all. Remember, good business, only with Connacht. Fair prices, no bullshit. Yes, Connacht. From a merchant family, to be specific. Though I've always wanted to be a cartographer. To chart the uncharted. But I broke my leg, badly enough that I couldn't travel anymore. So while the rest of the family was traveling the world, I had to sit on my ass looking after the books. It was driving me crazy. That wasn't what I wanted from life. Here, if you're talking about the keep, the captain is number one, then the quartermaster. But if you're talking about the village, then it's me, obviously. When fish won't bite, you buy them at Heffen's. That's me. When the tavern runs out of liquor, you buy it at Heffen's. That's me. When you have some stuff to sell, who do you sell it to? That's right. Long enough to know what sells. Not that I'd mind having a wider selection of goods, you know. Some more options on offer. But people here don't need much, so what you see is all I have. Then there's the refugees. For now, I guess they're good business. But long term, doubt it. Sooner or later they'll run out of money. They don't have any way to earn it since no one wants them here. They'll either get kicked out or leave and not come back. But there will be others to keep the business running, more or less.
What? What? How dare you? Do you know the meaning of those flowers? Revenge. Revenge, deception, and death. There's nothing nice about it, and I don't know if he did it on purpose or if he's just an idiot. But trust me, it's not a nice gesture. I don't care about his motivation. What you have in your hand is a very bad omen. Take those flowers away, burn them, throw them in a cauldron, whatever. I don't want to look at them. Oh, right. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Beatrice. As for me and Cole, well, we left Ree hoping to find a quiet place to rest for a bit. Our plan was to travel the King's Road towards Camelot. Well, here we are. We have our bloody Camelot. Cole was hanged and all I can do is weep bitter tears. Yeah, we grew up there. The village was built around a trade route. My parents ran a tavern that stood right by the road. We had a good life. We lacked for nothing. Well, that was before the damned grubwood started spitting out monsters. Then more and more caravans disappeared into the forest. People were telling stories that grew more horrifying by the day. In the end, taking that route meant certain death. The same thing that will happen to every place on this godforsaken island. Ruin. We used to have generous clientele. Merchants and emissaries from all over Avalon. They had deep pockets, always left lots of gold. But that changed. Then our only income came from the villagers, who were getting drunker and poorer by the day. That was always our plan. Col and I never wanted to stay there forever. Beatrice and Cole from the village of Ree, that wasn't us. Yeah, I doubt I'll ever see them again. I don't think there's anything worth going back for. Interesting thing about our wealthy guests was never their story. More often than not, they were boring people who loved talking about boring things. They thought gold makes everything more exciting. But what I found interesting were the fabrics that made the clothes they wore. Their origin and composition. The meticulous work of the weavers who turned a piece of fabric into something precious. I wanted to go to Timberwall to become an apprentice in one of their guilds. Cole just wanted to get the hell out of there. He never saw any future for himself in Ree, though I'm not sure if he saw one anywhere else either. But he wanted to try. I don't know what I'll do without him. All hope I had for a better life died with my husband. Well, it wasn't a love match. I never wanted a husband, and Cole never wanted me. But we always got along, and we had a common goal. He was a good man. Trust me when I said that my hope for a better life died with him. I wasn't just some young widow being dramatic. I really meant that. We always supported each other. He was my friend first and my husband second.
Excuse me, could you get me a clean glass? And I mean clean, not just wiped 3 times with a dirty rag. Well, I'm sorry if you felt offended. I won't bother you anymore.
And? Have you read The Last Voyage of the Andraste? Oh, splendid, splendid. Oh, it's an excellent book, don't you think? Now let's test your reading comprehension. According to Elvis the Lightkeeper, in the mine near the Horns of the South, they found something that they took with them on the ship. Do you remember what that was, child? And you're telling me you've read it? By the All-Mother, it's like dealing with a 10-year-old. You need to read this book a little more carefully, child. Come back when you've done more than just skimmed it. Have you read the book carefully this time? Good. Well, let's try again then. According to Elvis the Lightkeeper, in the mine near the Horns of the South, they found something that they took with them on the ship. Do you remember what that was, child? That's right. This is the artifact I'm looking for. One that might be vital to repelling the wordness. According to Elvis's description, the figure is smaller than a menhir and light enough that they were able to carry it to the ship without any trouble. Were it small, it would probably have been placed in Captain Lex's quarters instead of in the hold. I've estimated it should be about 1 meter tall. Good. Next question. What was the Andraste's destination? And you're telling me you've read it. Come back. And? Oh, splendid, splendid. Oh, it's an excellent book, don't you think? Now let's test your reading comprehension. According to Elvis the Lightkeeper, in the mine near the Horns of the South, they found something that they took with them on the ship. Do you remember what that was, child? And you're telling. Come back. And? Have you read The Last Voyage of the Andraste? Oh, splendid, splendid. Oh, it's an excellent book, don't you think? Now let's test your reading comprehension. According to Elvis the Lightkeeper, in the mine near the Horns of the South, they found something that they took with them on the ship. Do you remember what that was, child? That's right. This is the artifact I'm looking for. One that might be vital to repelling the wordness. According to Elvis's description, the figure is smaller than a menhir and light enough that they were able to carry it to the ship without any trouble. Were it small, it would probably have been placed in Captain Lex's quarters instead of in the hold. I've estimated it should be about 1 meter tall. Good. Next question. What was the Andraste's destination? Correct. Be very careful with what I'm about to tell you. But some believe that the Red Priests are dedicated to studying the wordness instead of the Red Death. Captain Lex must have thought they'd pay him generously for a four-dweller artifact. Last question. What sank the Andraste? Yes, you did well, child. I can see that you were paying attention. According to Elvis, the Andraste was sunk by the legendary terror from the deep. But if you want to know more, ask your keeper friends. They should be much better informed. Now, all you need to do is find the wreck of the Andraste and retrieve the mysterious figure. Oh, if only I knew. It must have happened somewhere on the way between the Horns of the South and the Island Asylum. Oh, but where exactly? Fortunately, I know something that could help us. In the Horns of the South Museum, there are some extremely interesting books and documents lying around and collecting dust. Can you imagine having such treasures at hand and choosing to completely ignore them? Oh, barbarians! Among them, you'll find the Andraste's logbook, which was saved by Elvis. I've read it, of course, but I know nothing about sailing. I'm sure such a competent child as yourself will handle it much better. Go to the Horns of the South Museum, read the logbook, and then tell me whether you managed to locate the wreck of the Andraste.
Bloody hell. Look at this. The old place is in a shambles. Bunch of decrepit old coots. They do nothing but shuffle around, stare at walls, and sleep under leaking roofs. Can't even hammer a nail properly. I'm telling you, if I was still working here, this place wouldn't be falling apart. But I'm not. Oh, shite. I can't even stand to look at it, let alone live here. And who are you? What you want? You another one of Durar's freeloaders? I bloody knew it. Retirement my arse. Oh, it's worth shit. Never a moment of peace. At least when I was still working, there was always something to do. Now, So, what you want? One day my boy got it into his stupid head that old Gaban is ill. Bullshit. They're all telling me I should do something about it, or else I'm done for. I'll be dead as a doornail in no time. Like hell I will. I'm still here, ain't I? I served my time. I lived my life. And now you can all kiss my arse. So there. Listen, they wanted Heaver, that healer from the keep, to come here. He did. They wanted him to look me over. He did. Then he just threw up his hands, mumbled something to himself, and that was it. Hell, I should have been an healer. Wouldn't mind going around being a pain in everyone's arse for a living. These herbs. No idea what they're for. Heber said he doesn't know what's wrong with me, so there's no illness. I'm fit as a fiddle. Good thing that at least the one guy who hangs around, Finley's the name, doesn't nag all the time. Yeah, right. He'd better focus on his job. That's what he says anyway. But yeah, he's my blood. Eager like me, and look at that bulbous nose. Won't disown what's clearly mine. But I ain't gonna talk with a stranger. It's like half the blighters here don't have working peckers, or they've never even touched a woman. Hold on. Finley is not my caregiver. He's my helper at most. First of all, I'm not a cripple. I don't need a decrepit dimwit running around after me. Secondly, do you know the problem with having a helper who's mute? He doesn't bloody talk. I mean, it's not all bad. At least I don't have to listen to even more bullshit. He puffs up like a puffball every time he tries to say something, but I don't understand shit. Why so nosy, eh? Bring me something to drink and then maybe we can talk. Now we can talk. I used to be a builder, the best one this side of Avalon. Hell, maybe even on this whole island. You see, back in the day, being a keeper was a serious business. Now, don't even get me started. You used to come here with a mission, not to run away from your bloody mother. Nowadays, lads get brought here by their own kin when they've had enough of them, or they think the Horns can hide them from the law. No, back in my day there was none of this scum. I came here to serve. My girl cried when I left her, but I've always known this is where I wanted to be. How was I supposed to know she had a bloody bun in the oven? By the time the wean was born, I was already planning the lighthouse's construction. Jack knows what he came here for. That's not my problem anymore, and I don't stick my nose in anyone else's business.
You look like a worldly, well-travelled person. I'm not wrong, am I? Of course I'm not. Tell me, would you be interested in some incredibly rare, mysterious and precious items? Then let me introduce you to a one-of-a-kind collection of Arthurian relics. I assure you, you won't see anything like this anywhere else on Avalon. Here's an authentic Four-Dweller's tooth. And look, a bone from Sir Galahad's little finger. And over here, a fragment of a foot wrap worn by King Arthur himself, along with many other riches.